I am a really, really big superhero fan. Of course, what's the biggest superhero movie that just came out? Superman 2025. James Gunn directing it. What were my expectations? Not great. I thought maybe it would be okay because I did like Guardians of the Galaxy and I do like Peacemaker. So, and those are both James Gunn. So I gave it a shot. We're sitting in the theater and it just kind of like blew me away. Like this particular Superman, Cornsweat, David Cornsweat, I think his name is. He has this earnestness, this youth, this innocence, this belief in the good of humanity, and it just shines right through his face. Very, very boyish face at that. Whereas I feel like Henry Cavill, he was a great Superman, but he was a more mature Superman, you know, like a cynical Superman. Superman had been around a while and knows how humans actually work. Whereas this new Superman has not been tainted, even though he'd been Superman for 3 years, I think, when the film opens up. So it's still pretty new in his Superman career. I mean, he's just barely starting to date Lois Lane, and I gotta tell you, the two of them, pretty sizzling chemistry. It was nice to see because I didn't really think there was much going on between Henry Cavill and Amy Adams. Not a lot of chemistry there. Plus, I didn't think she looked like Lois Lane at all. This girl, she looks like Margot Kidder, but she kind of reminds me of like Kat Dennings mixed with Courtney Cox. There's a lot of Courtney Cox in there. And, you know, she's a strong, independent woman, but I didn't find her a dislikable person. So good job on that, balancing the strong, independent woman, but not turning her into some sort of Mary Sue. I should have had more faith in James Gunn, right? I mean, he's got a sordid past. I don't even want to get into it, but let's just say some posts that he made were very, very controversial. Might have had very inappropriate things in them. But the dude can make movies. He really, really can. And the casting was just right on. Even Jimmy Olsen, it's just so well done. This Jimmy Olsen is used to like online dating, right? So he uses all the different apps. He actually is kind of catnip to the women. I don't know how it works nowadays, boys, as far as dating online, but I gotta tell you, whatever Jimmy Olsen's doing, it's working, because the girls that he's landing are way better looking than he is. So I feel like that's kind of a fantasy element, but it's a fantasy movie, right? So anyway, there's a lot that happens in this movie that I don't want to spoil for you because I want you to experience it for yourself. But I'm thinking, as I'm watching this movie and I'm like falling in love with this Superman and this Superman story, and I gotta tell you, this Superman is vulnerable, but he's not weak. That's a really tough balance there. Vulnerable, but not weak. And he gets his butt kicked a lot. But to be fair, Lex Luthor did, he kind of made his own Superman with Superman's DNA. So Superman fighting himself, you would expect that he'll probably get his butt kicked. So yeah, that's one of the situations that he has, is dealing with Lex and his own cloned enemy. But then we have, I can't remember what they're called, but they're like the Justice League, Justice Squad, whatever. You know, they're kind of a ripoff of that. But it's Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern. Oh my God, that hair is so bad. Oh, I finally found hair worse than Shawn Michaels' Prince Valiant cut back in like 1999. Yeah, it happens. Shawn Michaels is a wrestler, by the way, the best wrestler, GOAT, so fight me on it, okay? So anyway, this movie is a lot of fun. It's hopeful. It's exciting. And I'm going to tell you the best part. So I'm sitting in a theater, right? I'm sitting in the theater with my man of a decade. And we're watching the movie. We're both loving it. We're both looking at each other like, this might be the best Superman ever. And then Mr. Terrific comes on, and he is awesome. I don't know who the actor is, but he is just so cool. Incredibly cool. And it's just, you'll love him too. But this is the big part, okay, guys? This is the big part. So we're sitting in the theater. We're watching Mr. Terrific. He's trying to protect Lois Lane. And then Noah and the Whale, 5 years time, comes on during Mr. Terrific's battle against like Lex Luthor's people. And it is just like, I don't know if you've had the experience where like you're sitting in the theater with your significant other of 10 years and then a song comes on that you shared with them the very first day that you were together. An obscure indie song that probably most people haven't heard of. And it was always our song because it's funny, you know, the song says, you know, in 5 years time, I might not know you. In 5 years time, we might not speak. In 5 years time, we might not get along. In 5 years time, you might just prove me wrong. So I was a cynical girl, you know. I dated many a guy, hadn't found the right one, shared that song with him the first day. He falls in love with it too. And we both laugh with each other like, oh, can you imagine us being together in 5 years? And then we'll laugh and we'll sing this song to each other. Yeah, it's been 10 years. So the emotion that I felt when they started playing like a 16-year-old obscure indie song that I share as like our song with my man, it's like, I mean, I could say it's like a religious experience, but kind of. I mean, I am so emotionally attached and manipulated by music. And my favorite genres are like folk, indie folk, just mostly like indie, you know, and of course like classic rock like The Doors and Flaming Lips. And yeah, so if you haven't heard that song, you should check it out regardless if you've watched Superman or not. But they made it even better than the video itself, which you should check out. It's adorable. It wasn't on YouTube for the longest time, but guess what? It's back. Must be knowing the whale, like, hey, we can cash in on this Superman thing. So, and good. I would love to see them get together and tour. Maybe I'll actually have a chance to see them. I recommend listening to the song Lifegoeson, Life Goes On. That is an excellent song by Noah and the Whale as well. So Superman was everything I could have hoped for, plus more, because when that song came on, I'm looking at Mike and I'm just like almost tearing up, like, how would you ever expect a song like 5 years time to play during a fight scene in a major Hollywood movie blockbuster, which is like a superhero movie? No, because this song doesn't fit that. And yet, James Gunn, you're kind of a genius when it comes to putting things together like that. So I recommend Superman. I think you'll have a great time. I don't think it'll spoil anything to let you know. Crypto is in this one, and he reminds me of my beagle. He's just so mischievous. He doesn't listen. He's stubborn, but it's a good time. Take your significant other, take your kids, take your friends. And I would like to see it do well. I mean, in order for it to do really well, it has to do like astronomically crazy numbers. But I would think like you make a couple $100 million, that's pretty good. And that means that America is not totally tired of the superhero genre. We were just waiting for something that was good. So go see Superman. I think you'll love it. You'll probably fall in love with him just like me. Some people say it's polarizing. Just go in with an open mind. I don't want you to have too high expectations, okay? So just like temper your expectations, but assume you'll probably fall in love with this particular Superman. And the story is fun, and the action is fun, and of course the music is fun. And make sure you stick around for the very end, because there is like a Marvel type cutscene at the very end. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to stay through all of it. But you know what? There's a really, really good Iggy Pop song that plays. I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. And that is a great song too. And there's an element here that's like Clark Kent / Superman. He tells Lois Lane that he's a punk rocker. And she's just like, what? And she's like, you believe the good in people. Da, da, da. He's like, well, maybe that's the punk rock in me. Like, maybe the fact that I, like, believe the best in people and that I'm actually an idealistic person who's optimistic, maybe it's so different in this world of cynicism that being a good person and looking for the good in everyone and wanting to save the world is actually what it means to be punk rock. Okay, guys, check out Superman. Thanks for watching my review, and I will see you next time. God bless America. Bye.